Hi again, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our IBP release video series. So we're here in May for the 2405 release, and we will be taking you again through some of the most interesting features that we have highlighted from this particular release. So I have a new face with me today, which is Thomas.
Hello, hello.
Thank you very much, Thomas, for joining. He's replacing Sander for this release. We'll see in the future who will be bringing it to the people
Surprise,
in the
surprise.
future. So we are broadening our pool of people who want to present, which is always nice, of course.
Very happy to
So we
be
are
here.
both supply chain planning experts at Flexo, and we will be taking you through the newest release today. So what we'll be discussing today, we have four topics on the agenda for today. First of all, we'll be talking about automated outlier cleaning, so an added algorithm used for outlier cleaning in the IBP for demand module. Then we will be talking about contextual navigation in the planner workspace. So shortly already, the planner workspace we all know is the equivalent of the Excel add-in for planners. So a planner interface. So they have been improving it quite a lot in the past, and they keep on putting effort into it. Then we will be highlighting shortly the live connection, which is now available between IBP on the one hand and SAP Analytics Clouds, or SAC as you probably know it on the other hand. And then we will finish off with some pre-configured analytics, which are now available for the IBP for inventory module. So I suggest, Thomas, that you take it away for the first topic,
Yeah,
the outlier
I'm glad
cleaning
to.
one.
So, indeed, as Robin already said, we first go to demand module in IBP. And so, there, SAP has released a new outlier algorithm. And so, basically, now outliers are automatically detected and automatically cleaned. So, basically, no inputs or no parameters in comparison to previous algorithms we already had. So, no input is needed from the planner, which is, I think, it's very good. And to achieve this, we will basically leverage AI uh, methods or AI algorithms to detect those outliers and afterwards clean them, and which ultimately will basically reduce in the need for statistical experts, so they can focus on other types of stuff. And ultimately, a better outlier cleaning will result in a better forecast accuracy, and I think everyone likes that.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, ultimately with this, as I said, no parameters, no inputs, which means no work and no time lost that you need to spend on monitoring or managing these types of things. So I think in general, a very, very interesting feature that SAP released. We also included a demo and a presentation from SAP in the slides, which you can click on in the link. And yeah, it's a very nice demo, a very nice visualization as well of how this will work and how people can use it. So I think I would suggest go click on it and enjoy that video. But I myself will now also explain a bit more in detail. So basically, what this automated outlier cleaning does, we have basically some AI-powered algorithms that detect certain outliers, and then in the background they will see is it an outlier or is it not an outlier. So we have three detection methods that you can see on the slide on the right that will in the background calculate is this value considered an outlier or is it not considered an outlier. And then we will basically go over to a voting mechanism. We have three, so that will mean you have either three on one side, zero on one side, or you always have an odd number that will ultimately lead in a decision. So if two or more of these mechanisms consider the value an outlier, it will in general be an outlier. Otherwise, it will not. And I think they meant to do it with three different methods because yeah, then you have a robust way of detecting those outliers, because there one way can lead to like false positives or false negatives, and with including multiple methods you basically eliminate those false positives and those false negatives, and a more robust way and a more defined way of defining those outliers. And then afterwards, after we consider a certain value as an outlier, we will still need to clean that one. So for this, the automated outlier cleaning mechanism will use the correction with smoothing logic to clean that outlier. This logic was already introduced a couple of features ago, but I will once again briefly explain it for people that didn't yet know about it. So basically, this logic looks at time series data closely to your outlier. So a couple of periods back, a couple of periods forwards, and it will take the mean, or it will smoothen that peak to a more dampened form. So it will not take the entire horizon, but it will look at data closely related towards your outlier. So in general, I think a very good improvement that SAP have released in this new feature. That's a new feature that they have released. So in general, a feature that will save a lot of people, a lot of time, and a lot of work, I would say.
I think both the detection and also the correction logic, I think, makes sense. So on the one hand, they're focusing on AI and the whole story of AI, which is being used more and more, of course, within businesses. And also then here for the correction with the smoothing, basically leads to less strict or less extreme corrections, which probably helps and aids in bringing the forecast or the outlier to a more accurate level. So ultimately, as we think we can conclude, outlier cleaning, automatic processes, so less work, less rework, less manual input needed, and it will ultimately lead to better forecast, which is of course something that we all like. Then we will now be talking about the contextual navigation, which is available in the Planner Workspaces. As shortly touched upon in the introduction, Planner Workspace is basically the equivalent of the Excel add-in, the Excel interface that planners are often using. IBP or SAP is focusing more and more on also this web counterpart of this Excel add-in, and they are putting forward um, yeah, additional improvement each release. So making it more user-friendly, making it more robust, making it more easy to navigate. And also this contextual navigation, I think, is a good step in the right direction. So what it's basically all about, so as I said, so it now enables contextual navigation, which basically means that you can now more easily navigate from one component to another within your specific panel workspace. Immediately, we are thinking about some potential use cases. So for example, suppose that you're looking at a specific key figure, specific information on an aggregated level. It might also be that you afterwards you are interested in more detailed information. So now you can easily move from a view on that aggregated level to a more detailed view, where also automatically the specific cell or the specific data point that you highlighted is brought or passed along automatically as a filter. A different use case that we're also thinking about is suppose that you are, for example, showing data in a planning view, which is more like a tabular form, and basically columns and rows of data and attributes combined. Suppose that you want to visualize this data more clearly, you can now easily navigate from that planning view to a specific graph. Graphs where you have multiple opportunities. Think about pie charts or bar charts. Everything that you can imagine is possible within these panel workspaces as well. So you can now easily navigate from one to another. Again, offering possibilities to analyze your data more accurately, more precisely, and of course also saving some time. Now, if you take a look in detail to some of the advantages that we have noted here, again, the improved user friendliness and the ease of use is the main selling point, I think, of this improvement, because automatically you can now easily navigate between one component and another, without also having the need to scroll to lists and lists and lists of data, also again losing time and maybe leading to some frustration. Automatically linked to that is also the improved performance. Suppose that you move from an aggregate to a more detailed view. It could be that that you now, because the filter is passed along automatically, you don't have to scroll to the whole list, and also not all the planning objects or not all the combinations not need to be loaded. Next to that, we are not limited to only key figures, and key figure related components, also master data components can be included. Since the previous release, it's also possible to add master data components to your planning views or to your planner workspaces. So you can also easily navigate from a specific planning view to a master data component if you want to look at specific attribute details, let's say. And finally, you also have the possibility to keep your workbook definitions lean, because you don't have to necessarily put everything on one specific screen and click through or scroll through specific pages. No, you can easily navigate from one component to another, and this easy navigation that offers the possibility to keep your workbook definitions lean and clean and very slim. So you don't have to necessarily cram everything into one specific sheet, let's say.
All right, this sounds like a very advantageous new feature to me.
Yeah, indeed, and definitely, if they want to keep on pushing this panel workspace, I think it makes sense to keep on improving it
Improving it,
to make it easier to navigate and to use. So on the next slide, we still have one specific example. So suppose you start off with an aggregated view, looking at a specific key figure or a couple of key figures on a specific aggregation level. Now, easily by selecting a specific cell, by clicking through to another component, you can easily now look at that detailed view, which might, for example, include extra attributes or extra key figures. So it allows you to analyze your information on a more detailed level, and you see now in your detailed view how the data on an aggregated view is composed of how you come to that aggregated view and how you come to that volume. Let's see.
Yeah.
So definitely something to take into account, definitely something to bring to our customers as well who are using the Planner workspace, because it will definitely bring a nice and a nice added benefit to their daily life, let's say.
Yeah, I think it's very nice feature. You can easily drill down towards your detailed level, and then you compare your detailed level to your aggregated level, and have a very nice overview of everything you need. So,
Yes, exactly.
nice.
All right, let's go to the next point on the agenda, which is the live connection between IBP on the one hand and SAP Analytics Cloud on the other hand. Already shortly I touched upon it in the beginning, of course, in the introduction again. So IBP is your, let's say, your point of view for your tactical supply chain planning data. Analytics Clouds, on the other hand, is your go-to tool for more in detail, more in depth reporting analysis, etc., dashboarding, etc. So now with this live connection between SAP IBP on the one hand and SAC on the other hand, the customers who have both licenses now have the ability to visualize and report on the most up-to-date IBP data. So there's no lagging anymore between IBP data on the one hand and SAC reports on the other hand. No, you're always working with the latest and the latest up-to-date information. This also avoids data replication, or it also avoids that users need to manually load IBP data into SAC on a timely manner, of course. Also, by doing so, by leveraging this IBP data, you can also then use the best in-class analysis tools from SAC, and you could even combine your IBP data with some data coming from other sources. And the very good positive about the live connection is that from an IBP perspective, you always have your latest information, your up-to-date information. So you know that data can change with particular jobs, with planner inputs, with some kind of planning runs. But at least now you know when you lay the link between IBP and SAC that you're always working with the latest and the most up-to-date IBP information. So something to take into account for customers who have both licenses, so IBP on the one hand, and also are using SAC on the other hand, something to take into account and to take along in the future, I would say.
Always nice to work with real-time information.
Of course, indeed. So then, take it away, Thomas, for the next.
Yes. Okay, so for the last one, and it's been long due, SAP also improved a bit in their IBP for inventory solution. So next to some general changes, they now also have some pre-configured analytic stories for the inventory planners. And so basically now they have some out of the box based on best practices. They have some analytic stories for the inventory planners that they can basically use as a template. So this template, it will give your inventory planners all types of information that they can use in their assessment of their inventory levels. They can use it to compare service levels with cost levels. They can benefits with costs, and they can make necessary scenarios even if they need to make sure that they can make they can see the risks in the near future or something, or they can make good decisions regarding investments in inventory levels that they see. And so in all these dashboards and in these graphs, you can have inputs like your target service level, your forecast errors, and other types of indicators that you have defined within your organization. But you can also see the outputs. So you can see your maybe your slow movement stock and your safety stock levels and other key performance indicators regarding your stock levels. And what I think is very important to highlight here as well is that with these dashboards and with these graphs, you can make all types of scenarios where if you can increase certain inputs that you have defined within your organization, you can easily see the outcome of that. And you can see, okay, is it good if we go in this direction? Is it maybe worse if we go in that direction? And you can compare different types of runs. So if you decide, oh, one day, okay, what happens if we increase this indicator or this input, compared with what if we decrease it? And then, inventory planners can now have a more better insight in making inventory level decisions and their general decisions in their inventory process.
Mhm.
So I think a very nice new feature for the inventory planners, long due. So I hope they will keep doing it in the future.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's nice to see that they're also bringing these improvements for the inventory module, because we already saw them in the past for the demand module, and that best practice content was already available. I think it's indeed a good step in the right direction, also bringing it into the inventory module. So customers interested in the IBP for inventory model, that they at least have that starting point, those templates that they can build on. Of course, everything might need to be tweaked to a specific organization, but at least you have that proper baseline that
Yeah,
you
indeed.
can build on. So again, definitely a nice improvement, a step in a good direction also from SAP side, yeah, in convincing people also to go for this inventory module, I would say. All right, so that's what we wanted to discuss today for this release, 2405 release, which is, by the way, going live this weekend, so the weekend of the 18th and the 19th of May.
Indeed.
If you want to know more about any of these features, or about this release in general, or maybe about some of the releases in the past, you can always visit our release landing page, let's say, on our Flexso website, where we bundle all the past releases on one specific landing page. On the other hand, you can also get in contact with us via LinkedIn, of course, via the company profile, where the people who are responsible can bring you into contact with our supply chain expert team, let's say, that we can easily help you in going from your as is state to your future roadmap, and how we can see how we can assist you in going forward. So then the only thing left for me to do is, I think, thank you, Thomas, for being here first time.
Thank you. Yes, the
I
first
think
time.
I hope we can expect you again in the future.
Yes, of course. I'm very happy to be here and very happy to be here in the future as well.
Of course. Then only thing left to do is thank you also for watching. We have another report, I think, in 3 months for the next release.
Yes, every
So
3
hope to see you
months.
all again here. And then I want to thank you all for watching. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.